Welcome back, detectives. Mortal Kombat 2's biggest threat may not be Shao. It may not begin with Reiko. It may not even begin with Onaga himself. It may begin with a student, a young warrior chasing knowledge, a fighter who wants to learn from every master, a character old timeline fans know very well, and he goes by the name Shujinko. And if our rubber band theory is correct, Liu Kang may have already placed one of the most dangerous pawns in the new era directly under Earthrealm's protection. Because in the old timeline, Shujinko did not doom the realms because he was evil. He doomed the realms because he trusted the wrong voice. And now that Onaga is being teased again, the real question is simple. Is Shujinko about to fall for the Damashi trap all over again? But not as Kronika, not as the same disguise. This time, Damashi may not even be a person. Damashi may be the method. Let's investigate. Now, before we open this case file, we need a quick tactical update from our war room. In our last investigations, we looked at young Hanzo's rage, Master Kai's possible role in training him, and how Liu Kang's new era may still be pulling certain characters back towards their old fixed point. But Hanzo is not the only student we need to worry about here. There is another young warrior sitting on the board, a student tied to Kung Lao, a fighter with dangerous potential. And in old Mortal Kombat lore, this character was directly connected to one of the biggest disasters in the entire franchise. That character is Shujinko. And if NetherRealm is truly building towards Onaga in Mortal Kombat 2, then Shujinko may be one of the most important names on the board. Because the Dragon King does not always need to break the door down himself. Sometimes he just needs someone else to open it for him. For newer detectives who may not know Shujinko's history, this character is not random. Shujinko was one of the most important characters in Mortal Kombat Deception. He was a student, a traveler, a martial artist who wanted to become great. Who does that sound like? A student? A traveler? Come on now, sounds like Kai a little bit to me if I'm being honest. But check this out. He trained against realms, across realms. He learned from different masters, and his unique power allowed him to copy the abilities of other warriors. On paper, that sounds heroic, right? But that is exactly what makes Shujinko dangerous. Because Shujinko's greatest strength was also his greatest weakness. He wanted knowledge. He wanted purpose. He wanted to believe he was chosen for something important. And that desire made him vulnerable to manipulation. Now, in the old timeline, a mysterious guy named Damashi appeared to Shujinko and convinced him that he was helping serve a greater mission. We all know that. But the truth was much darker. Damashi was not a noble spirit. Damashi was Onaga, the Dragon King. And Shujinko's entire journey was used to help Onaga return. This is the tragedy of Shujinko. He was not trying to destroy the realms. He was trying to become a hero. But because he trusted the wrong voice, he became the pawn that helped unleash one of Mortal Kombat's most dangerous villains ever. This is why this case file matters so much. Because in Liu Kang's new era, Shujinko is back on the board. And if Onaga is back on the board too, then history may be prepared to snap back. Now here is where this investigation gets tricky though, because some of you are probably asking the same question I asked when I first opened this file. Didn't Mortal Kombat 1 already use Damashi? And the answer is yes. In Mortal Kombat 1, the Damashi role was already twisted. Titan Tsung appeared in the form of Kronika and manipulated the New Era versions of Tsung and Quan Chi. He used the same kind of strategy: a mysterious god, a promise of greatness, a chosen destiny, a powerful hidden enemy pulling the strings from behind the curtain. So no, I do not believe Mortal Kombat 2 needs to bring back Kronika again as Damashi. That would feel repetitive, and it would ignore one of the smartest things NetherRealm already did. They showed us that Damashi does not have to be one person. Damashi can be a pattern, a method, a trap. The face can change, the voice can change, the disguise can change, but the structure stays the same. A powerful hidden enemy finds someone ambitious, curious, desperate, or overlooked, then gives them a mission that secretly serves a darker purpose. That means in Mortal Kombat 2, Damashi does not need to be Kronika. Damashi could be Onaga. Damashi could be a voice from the Kamidogu. Damashi could be Quan Chi. Damashi could be an ancient spirit. Damashi could even be a false teacher Shujinko believes is guiding him towards greatness. That is the key. The name will change, but the trap will stay the same. This is where our rubber band theory becomes important. For you new detectives, the law is simple. Liu Kang can rewrite the details of history. He can change someone's family. He can change their status. He can change their starting point. Hell, he can change who trains them. But he cannot fully erase the fixed points that define certain characters. And I always like to use these two, or these three, I should say, as an example. Kenshi still loses his sight. Melina still becomes tied to Tarkat. Shao still becomes a warlord. And honorable mention, Hanzo still has his rage. And Shujinko's fixed point is not simply he gets tricked. His fixed point is much deeper than that. Shujinko is the student who wants to learn too much. The warrior who trusts the wrong guy, the traveler who chases purpose, the fighter whose hunger for knowledge makes him a perfect target. So if Liu Kang placed Shujinko under Kung Lao and Raiden, that sounds safe at first. But from a lore perspective, it might actually be the most dangerous thing Liu Kang could have done. Because the more Shujinko learns, the more useful he becomes. And the more useful he becomes, the more a hidden enemy would want him. This is the frightening part. Because Liu Kang may think he protected Shujinko by placing him around heroes, but if Shujinko's fixed point is learning, copying, and trusting the wrong voice, then every lesson he receives may be turning him into the perfect key for Onaga's return. Detective quiz. Before we continue, I want you to log your answer. In the old Mortal Kombat timeline, who was really hiding behind the identity of Damashi? Was it A. Kronika, B. Shang Tsung, C. Onaga, or D. Quan Chi? But here's the twist. I want you to make sure that you click the quiz on your screen so you can vote in the proper poll that's on your screen. Now, let's get back to it. In Liu Kang's New Era, the Damashi method has already been reused, as I mentioned earlier, by Titan Shang Tsung. So if the pattern continues or comes back in Mortal Kombat 2, the real question is not simply who Damashi was. The real question is who becomes the next voice Shujinko trusts. Our investigation has identified 3 possible ways NetherRealm can reuse the Damashi trap without making it feel like the same story again. And I'll start with suspect number 1. Onaga speaks through a new form. The strongest option is Onaga himself, but not as Kronika, not as the exact same Damashi disguise. This time, Onaga could appear as something different, like an ancient dragon spirit, a voice inside the Kamidogu, a forgotten outworld protector, a hidden master, or a divine god. Something that feels wise enough for Shujinko to trust. Because remember, Onaga does not need Shujinko to be evil. He only needs Shujinko to believe he is doing the right thing. That is what makes the trap so dangerous. Suspect number 2. Quan Chi becomes the new manipulator. The second possibility is Quan Chi, and this one connects directly to the larger road to our Mortal Kombat 2 investigation, because Quan Chi is still active currently in the timeline. Quan Chi still understands manipulation. We've seen him do it throughout story mode. Quan Chi still knows how to weaponize people's weaknesses. He did it with Hanzo's grief in the old timeline, and he could do something similar with Shujinko's hunger for knowledge in the new era. Maybe Quan Chi does not call himself Damashi. Maybe he does not need to. Maybe he simply becomes the new era version of the manipulator who points Shujinko towards something tied to Onaga. Maybe like a relic, a temple, the Kamidogu, the Dragon Army, or some ancient force Liu Kang tried to bury. That would keep the Damashi pattern alive without repeating the exact same mask. Now, this brings me to suspect number 3, which is Shujinko himself, and his own ambition is what opens the door for Onaga's return. This is the deepest one. What if Shujinko does not need an evil god at first? What if the danger begins with him? Not because he is evil, but because he wants to learn everything. He wants to prove himself. He wants to become great. And if he has the ability to copy other fighters, then even every single battle that he's in, he can make that even. Every lesson and every master that he trained with makes him more powerful. That means Liu Kang's protection could backfire big time. Kung Lao trains him, Raiden influences him, maybe Kai guides him, maybe other warriors test him, like Bo Raicho. And every step makes Shujinko more dangerous. Then, all a villain has to do is appear at the right moment and offer him the one thing he wants most, a purpose. This is how the trap works. The villain does not create Shujinko's weakness. The villain exploits it. Now, why this points to Onaga? Let's connect this to the bigger board. Mortal Kombat 1 already points towards Onaga. Let's get that straight. General Shao is still a threat. Reiko is tied to the possibility of unleashing or taming the Dragon King. Outworld is unstable. The Dragon Army has already been reintroduced into the New Era story. Ancient relics and forbidden powers keep resurfacing. So if Onaga is coming, NetherRealm needs a way to make his return more than just Reiko finds monster. They need a spiritual key, a lore key, a character who can accidentally move the wrong pieces into the wrong places. This is where Shujinko fits perfectly, because old timeline Shujinko was not just a fighter, he was the delivery system. He was the person whose journey allowed the Dragon King's plan to work. So in Mortal Kombat 2, Shujinko could once again be the student who unknowingly helps open the door. Different timeline, different teachers, different voice, same trap. That is the rubber band theory. And if that happens, Shujinko may become one of the most tragic characters in the new era. Because once again, he may believe he is saving the realms, while actually helping the Dragon King return. So now, let's get over to our final verdict. After reviewing Shujinko's old timeline history, his connection to Damashi, his role in Onaga's return, his new era placement under Earthrealm's heroes, the return of Onaga related setup, and the rubber band theory, our investigation has reached a disturbing conclusion. Shujinko may not be returning as a simple cameo. He may be returning as the exact kind of student the new era should fear. Because Liu Kang can change Shujinko's teachers. He can change his starting point. He can even change Shujinko's surroundings and surround him with heroes. But he cannot erase the one thing that made Shujinko dangerous in the first place: his hunger for more, his hunger to learn. And if the wrong voice finds him at the right time, the Damashi trap may begin all over again. Not as Kronika, not as the same disguise, but as the same deadly pattern: a guide, a promise, a mission, and a student who does not realize he is being used until it is too late. So drop your verdict in the comments. Will Shujinko recognize the trap this time? Or will Quan Chi manipulate him? Or is Onaga already preparing to use him as the key to the Dragon King's return? Drop your answers in the comment section below. If you watched all the way to the end, do me a favor, hit like, hype the video, and subscribe to become an official detective of the channel. But only if you feel like I earned it, because we have a lot more cases to solve on this long road to the release of Mortal Kombat 2. This is the Wave Report. Case file 007 remains open. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. Don't be late.